Yo, what's up everyone? Today we're going to be driving the Jzx100 and I'm going to tune the car in this video. We created a tune called Bass, and as you can see, like, tire pressures are still 15. I know right off the bat I want this to be, like, the front tire pressure to be around 34, and then the rear tire pressure, I normally put this around like 22, and then gearing as well. It's normally set at 79 miles an hour. I'm going to bump this to 81, maybe even, I think next one's 83, right? 84, maybe even 84, but we're gonna start with 81. Save that, and let's give it a rip, see how it is. So the car feels good. Just with the tire pressure change, it doesn't need too much more. Maybe a couple of adjustments here and there. I did feel like the back end, it gripped up a lot, like I had some understeer. And I know to adjust that, you can go over here to suspension, and you can adjust the front control arm, I believe this is, and the rear control arm. I don't usually touch the rear control arm, but the front control arm you can see is 40,000 Newton meters, and the rear is 4,000. I usually pop this down to about half and start there, so 20,000, and that usually gives it a bit more oversteer versus understeer, so less straightening. I feel like sometimes you kind of fight the car, especially this one with how long it is. I've always noticed adjusting that really helps, so I'll try that. Oh. Just changing the front control arm from 40,000 Newton meters to 20,000 Newton meters makes a huge difference. A lot of people actually put this as 0. I've seen people do that too, but I like to keep it at 20,000, which is half of what it came with. And from there I'll make like minor tweaks, sometimes go down to 15, 18, just kind of play with it. I'm going to do a couple of laps, check my tires. I think this is good. 34 might be the good spot for the front tires. I'm going to check the rear, see if they're heating up too quick. If they're heating up too quick, we'll take some pressure out and go from there. And then I'm still kind of considering upping this to 84, but I'm not sure yet. We'll do a couple laps and see how it is. Everything is honestly feeling pretty good. I'm going to lower tire pressure in the front just a tiny bit. If you look down at the HUD, at the tire HUD, you can see there's this 34 PSI and it's green. You want the tire pressure, the tire temperatures to be in that green range. So you want the rears to be in the blue, but like the front is good to be a tone below green or right in green. And that's like the optimal tire pressure. I think the only other thing I'm going to try to change is maybe this gear set. I've never messed with this V161. I'm kind of curious what it is. So I feel like since we primarily use second gear, we're going to be hitting the rev limiter quite a bit if we do that. But if we adjust this, we can have it set at 82. So we'll try this. I'm going to try the gear set V161 and see how it is. The gear set honestly didn't seem to change. I don't know what the difference is between R154 and V161. I'm sure there's people out there that know, but I'm just gonna leave it at this and put the max speed. I'm actually gonna bump this up max speed to 84 on the R151. Let's see how that is. I'm also gonna lower the tire pressure just by 1 PSI and give that a go. So another thing, when I'm left foot braking, I'm noticing brake bias should be up a little bit. I want to adjust it a little bit more because it still feels like it's affecting the rear. So I'm going to pump this up to 71%. And then also, I noticed I wasn't hitting the rev limiter as much with 84 miles per hour. I'm actually going to pop that back to 81 and see how that is. So I feel like the car is kind of over rotating now, so it has too much oversteer. So I'm gonna bump this up to 2,500 Newton meters and see if that fixes the issue. I also feel like I don't have as much grip in the rear, so I'm gonna pop this down to 19 psi in the rear. See if we can give this guy another dump. Oh, that's one way to do it. My bad, dude. Alright, so all in all, I think this tune is already pretty dialed. The rear tires are still getting hot. Also, the front started heating up after 4 or 5 laps, so we're gonna lower the rear, do it a little dramatic, and do 16 psi. I know it starts at 15, actually 17. 17 is a good number. So we're gonna leave the tire pressures 35 in the front, 17 in the rear. We could take away a little bit of the rear camber just to add some speed. Let's do that. So 0 degrees. We're going to take away half of it, so 0.5 degrees positive camber, and see what that does. Looks like there's a pretty big train going on, so we're going to jump in with these guys here. Alright, I'm happy with that tune. So let's go through it real quick, and I'll post all this down in the video description. So things we touched: gear ratio, we're using the R154, 81 miles per hour, leave it there. Tire pressure, 35 in the front, 17 in the rear. Camber, 0.5 degrees, 0.5 positive for the rear. Brake bias, 71%, that's personal preference. I like it a little bit higher. For suspension, the front sway bar, we toned this down from 40,000 Newton meters to 25,000. And the rear, just leave it as it is. But yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you want me to do other cars, other tracks, other servers, let me know. I'm up to just about anything, as I'm still learning. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.